Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you. We move into day 3 over in Germany and the Netherlands. As always, we're going to touch on each and every one of these games, see if there's anything we fancy on the side as we go. Be sure to get your best bets in the comments if there's anything I'm going for personally. That will also be in the pinned comment. Be sure you go and check that out. If you like the video, get yourself subscribed to the channel. If you're not, I'd appreciate it if you did. We're flying over that 1.5k now, folks. Very grateful for that. Appreciate each and every one of you. We continue to grow each and every day. Get yourself involved. We'd love to have you. But right, now that's out the way. First things first, how did we manage in day 2? Bit of a disappointing start. I was fairly disappointed in El Chapo. Yeah. We'll touch on that more in a second. I've got no words for what he done in that third set. I had him paired with Corentin Moutet. Moutet came through. Didn't mean much in the end for the bet as a whole. Not much you can do about that one, but I was well and truly redeemed. I had Martin Fuscovics, Quinton Halys just for the set. I was happy with that one. And not only that, there was one that didn't even get to play. That's been carried over until today, so that will be in the pinned comment as it was yesterday. I've got Hughes Lehecka and Mark Lial just for the one set. We'll see how we get on, but I mean, first 2 days, 2-1 on the official bets. I'll take that. I most certainly will. You've got to take whatever you can get early days, so I'm alright with that. Let me know, did you win? Did you lose? Did you just come close? But now, all that is done. All said and done. We'll start off over in Stuttgart just quickly. We've got 2 matches to touch on over in the Netherlands. The 4 that got caught up in the rain have been moved over to today, so unless you want to hear me just repeat myself word for word what I said in yesterday's video, it still stands. We'll touch on them anyway, but like I say, it shouldn't take that much time tonight. But first off for us, we've got Rinderknech, Martin Fuscovics. This is why I didn't mention the Chapo one that much at the start, because this is first off for us. Head to head is 1-0 to Martin Fuscovics back in Rotterdam, 2021. Doesn't serve much purpose for us today, to say the least. You get Martin Fuscovics around. I've got 1.7 here, 1.65, 1.7. It depends. Call it 1.65 round the boat. I don't mind it. Straight off the bat, I don't mind that. I wasn't that convinced with him through qualifying. Both of them 3 sets against, let's just say, challenger tour players. But he looked a lot better against Jan Hanfman. How much that's saying, I'm not too sure, but it still stands. He did lose his serve rather early on in the match. Managed to pull his thumb out of his arse and then just come back and buried him. 7-5, 6-4, routine win. Happy days. I'm happy with that. I'll certainly take that. Rinderknech against El Chapo, man. I mean, we knew there was always a possibility of a threat with the serve and whatnot. But even still, man, that weren't the brunt of it, was it? What happened to this guy? First set, alright, you dropped that. Rinderknech just, yeah, he was alright. I feel like Chapo was just a bit. He started doing Chapo things, didn't he? He come out in that second set and just pummeled him. Absolutely pummeled him in like 15 minutes. And then if you thought the second set was quick, that third set, mate, oh my god. I do not know what happened. You can't sit here and make excuses for these players, can you? You'll drive yourself insane. This guy just all of a sudden became fucking retarded. Just become retarded all of a sudden. Couldn't put a ball in. Either that or we had fucking Bruce Almighty sitting in the stands making him do this dumb shit. It's neither here nor there. He didn't look good. One of the worst performances you're going to see, not only from Chapo, pretty much from anyone on the tour. It was very concerning. He clearly didn't want to be there. And it made no sense because you managed to pull it back and do so well in that second set. And then you go ahead and pull some dumb shit like that. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. But you can't beat yourself up for it. You know what I say? If you're going to beat yourself up, you use a feather. It weren't me playing. I wouldn't have done that shit. Well, I'd have tried my best not to anyway. You know for certain now, you can't trust El Chapo, at least for a month or two, wait till we get on the indoor hard court. That's when it's Chapo time. But still good stuff from Rinderknech. It's a good win on paper, but my main point of that being, I don't even, did he even hit a winner? I don't know. Can't even remember watching him hit a fucking winner, to be honest with you, but he's a slight dog today against Fuscovics, 2.4. How do we think he gets on? Based on the performance in round one, I weren't that impressed. I wasn't that impressed with Martin Fuscovics. He didn't exactly turn up like a world beater, but he done exactly what I thought he was going to do. Simple. As a Rinderknech, although on paper he did pull off the upset. If you're going to do something like that, first round on the grass, it's probably going to be to someone like Chapo, right? I mean, yeah. Speechless. Absolutely speechless. The more I think about it, the more I'm going, oh, cannot fucking believe what he done. But I think it throws a bit of a spanner in the works for today's game, because you're looking at it going, I didn't expect Rinderknech to be here. If he's going to get past Chapo, can he get past Fuscovics? Obviously. Will he? I wouldn't be so sure. I think Martin Fuscovics should have more than enough to get this one done. You neutralise that first serve, you're in the money. Simple as that. Fuscovics 1.65, you can get him at 1.7. I'd just take him straight up on a single. But as for now, 1.6, 1.65, it would be Martin Fuscovics for me. So we will move on. One moment. Got Ben Shelton, Pierre Hughes, Herbert. It's got to be Ben Shelton in this one. I say it's got to be Ben Shelton. I mean, not blindly. I would assume it's going to be Ben Shelton in this one. They've never played each other before. I don't think they would have had to. For you to guess how this one's going to go. Call it 1.4 for the American. Last time out, we've seen him in the French Open get beat by Alcaraz. It was always going to happen. He had a fairly decent run before he bumped into the Spaniard. He got past Sonego, Gaston, Gigante. You know, two Italians and a Frenchman. So, sounds like the start of a really shit joke, does it not? I think Pierre Hughes looked fairly decent as well. He looked alright in qualifying. Managed to get past Miyajima due to him pulling out. I mean, we kind of had a feeling how that one was going to go. Not based so much on the abilities of the Frenchman, based more so on the inabilities of Demir on the grass. But it still stands. He got it done either way. I think it's a big ask to come up to expect him to get past Ben Shelton. I do. I watched a bit of the Pierre games. To be honest with you, he's very serve volley based, and he's very focused on the serve volley. Are you gonna come and serve volley against Mr. Serve Volley himself? Not just Mr. Serve Volley. He's got a lot more than that, but Ben Shelton does it as good as the rest of them. Really, he does. Big lefty as well. How's he going to transition to the grass? This is what my main thing has been. This has been the main point for the majority of them. How are they going to handle the transition on the grass? I'm not too sure. Ben Shelton last year didn't exactly have the best year on the grass, did he? 4-4. I mean, if you look at the wins as well, Dinky, Bellucci, Lloyd Harris, El Chapo, the last three were all in Wimbledon too. Who remembers anyone remember Mallorca last year on the grass? I had Paul Jubb plus that 3.5 against Ben Shelton, and he ended up beating him outright anyway. Yeah, I'll never forget that. I've got a screenshot of that on my phone, believe it or not. Aye. But yeah, I got beat by Duckworth, Mpechi Pericard, Paul Jubb, Yannick Sinner. It's alright, it's not bad, it's not great. I do think he should prove to be a bit too much for the Frenchman in this one. I feel like I always say there's pure levels in this. Ben Shelton's 11 years younger than him? 11 years younger than him? Come on, I mean, it's got to be Ben Shelton in this one, folks. It's got to be. I haven't seen nothing from him yet on the grass. I'd be willing to roll a dice and say he's got more than enough to get at least this one done. We'll see how he fares later on in the tournament, but I don't think Pierre is going to have much to offer. I think he might be able to keep it closer than what some people expect. I don't think it's going to be a clear washout, a straight-up blowout for Ben Shelton here, but ultimately I can only see one winner, one person coming off victorious in the end. It has to be Ben Shelton. It has to be, doesn't it? You don't have to take him, but I think it's safe to assume he's going to wrap this one up. We'll waste no more time on it. And we'll crack on to Quentin Halys and Taylor Fritz. Here he is. What are we going to do with this guy, old Taylor, my old friend? What am I to do with you, son? I'll start by saying this. I imagine if I was Taylor Fritz, I'd be fucking buzzing, absolutely ecstatic, over the moon that clay season is done. Well, that my clay season is done anyway. He was quite bad, wasn't he? He was quite bad. I don't think that went the way he'd have liked that one to go. Christopher O'Connell, Benjamin Bonzi, and then Quentin Halys. They were the only 3 wins, I think, were they? Let me just check. Yeah, 3 and 4 on the clay, as opposed to what we've seen on the hard court. That's not very Taylor Fritz-like, is it? How's he going to get on? I've just said that about Ben Shelton. It stands for this. How is he going to get on coming over to the grass? He did go 10 and 2 last year. Something to keep note of. He's only won 4 of his last 10 games. Like I said, that's dating back to the hard court over in Miami, the end of March. I mean, Casper Ruud beat him. Nothing wrong with that at all. Marcus Garon, he looked awful against Marcus Garon over in Rome. He just about got past Quentin Halys, which is probably the only bit of solace that he's got in this one, is that he's coming up against Quentin Halys again. But beat by Hughes in Geneva. And then, I don't know, man, he's looked a little bit out of shape, you know. I've seen when he wipes his face with his t-shirt, he's got a little bit of a pooch on the belly, you know what I mean? What do you get when you guzzle down sweets? You get fucking smoked by Daniel Altmaier, first round, French Open. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's not good. That doesn't fill me full of hope. Transitioning to the grass. Quentin Halys against Sonego today. It's just, there's got to be a direct fucking correlation between betting on tennis and like early onset heart disease. Quentin Halys, I had him to win a set today. Did anyone watch it? If so, how disgusting was that first set? The whole match wasn't that thrilling, to be honest with you. It was played on a knife's edge for the majority of it, but Quentin Halys up 5-3 in the first set, shattered away. And you go, okay, it is what it is. Goes to a tiebreaker. Shouldn't have been anywhere near a tiebreaker. You go 5-2 up in the tiebreaker. You lose the tiebreaker 8-6. What is going on? What is going on? You can imagine what Twitter was like after that first set. Oh my days. Look, I'm happy that he managed to come back and get it done. I only need him for a set anyway, but to say he was the better player in that match, it doesn't really sit right with me, because I don't think there was any winner out of Sonego and Halys. It was just one of them games. Neither one could do fuck all on the return, which seems to be the story of the grass, doesn't it? It seems to be the tale of the grass the past couple of days. People are really struggling with these serves, man. You're really waiting on people to make errors more often than not, or pretty much trying to force them out of them anyway. That Johan Petchy card match was one of the worst games I've ever seen. Probably one of the worst games I've ever bet on. I felt sick watching that. I couldn't believe it in the end. But no one can return a serve. No one can return a serve. Halys can serve really, really well. Taylor Fritz can serve really, really well. Considering Taylor Fritz has been playing like absolute crap the past month or two, he's clocking in at a 1.3 favourite. I do not like that. Now, like I said, he'll be super, super happy because they've given him Quentin Halys again, an opponent that he can beat in the current state. that doesn't mean he's going to do it again. Halys already got a game under his belt. It weren't much of a game. It's 3 sets, but he struggled that much against Sonego. I would have to assume, even if Taylor Fritz turns up just 80%, I imagine he'd still have enough to get past Halys. Look how shit he was playing on the clay, and he still beat him. Straight sets. So I don't know. It's food for thought. I would love to take Halys on the point, but I'm just not brave enough. Like I say, he was very worrying against Sonego today. I'm gonna see what Taylor Fritz looks like. See how he turns up, and then I'll assess the situation with this guy in the next round. Providing he's still here, he may not be. He might just get fucking smoked. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, and we'll wrap this shit up in Germany with Jan-Lennard Struff, Jiří Lehecka. Struff squad. We were happy with Struff the other day. We had a feeling he beat Arnaldi. I know he was a dog, but he weren't really a dog. We identified that one rather well. We were all more than aware of which way to go on that. Great stuff as well. Straight sets. He played really good too, man. He played solid. Big save. Saved him well, pardon the pun. But not only that, he actually was able to play some fucking tennis in this match, which is a lot more than what I've seen pretty much all season. We touched on him the other day. He's only beat Botic van der Sandschulp in his last 10. That was due to retirements as well. One hell of a skid all season. And just because he got it done against Matteo Arnaldi on the grass in Germany does not mean this guy is back. Well, he's back in business. This guy is not in form just yet. As much as I want to believe it myself, you have to admit he's not. A win over Matteo Arnaldi in your home tournaments on the grass. Struff always plays good on the grass. We know that. Majority of us know that anyway. How's he going to get on against Jiří Lehecka? I don't know about you folks personally. I think out of the first round, I watched Jiří Lehecka play Benjamin Bonzi. I think Lehecka looked probably the best. At least one of the best out of the entire draw. I really do. He looked fantastic against him. He just couldn't put one wrong. That was a 6-4, 6-4. Just solid. Easy as you like. Now, same with Struff. That was easy for him as well. You know, he got that one done. Didn't have to do much. 6-4, 6-4. I don't know, man. At first glance, I sat here and I was like, oh, it's Struff time, innit? It's Struff time. We took him the other day. Probably just got to ride it till the wheels fall off. I'm not too sure. I don't think Struff beats Jiří Lehecka anywhere else on the tour, especially in the current day. I wouldn't bet on him too anyway. Played each other once before, 2 years ago, French Open, went 5 sets, although the sets weren't very close. They was like 6-1, 6-3, 6-1s, yeah. A lot's changed since then. A lot has changed since then. I think it's safe to say we know what we're going to get from pretty much both of these. We know how high the level can be. Who's got more in the bag? I'd probably say Jiří Lehecka. Probably got a bit more tools in the box. Struff's hard to beat, man. He's very hard to beat, as the majority of us very well know. I don't fancy going against him. I don't. Because if he can impose his game on Lehecka today, we've seen him do it to the best of them in the past, and they all struggle, and they all fall at the end. I think there's only so much you can do against a player like Struff when he's in form. He's so strong. He hits that ball so fucking hard, man. Like no other. So I think Jiří Lehecka's a lot more tactile, a lot more versatile, a lot more agile as well. You know, he has the youth on his side, 11 years of it to be precise. This is horrible. I want Struff to win, but I love Jiří Lehecka as well. I don't want him to lose. I do think Jiří Lehecka probably gets this one done. I do. I hate myself for saying it. You're probably going to hate it too. I would love Struff to win this. He needs to win. He needs to win not only this game, just go and win this tournament. Even if this is all you do all season, at least it won't be a waste. Just go and win this tournament. You've got to get past Jiří Lehecka first. I'm not so sure you can do that. I've seen nothing. Even in the Arnaldi game, disregarding that, there's been absolutely nothing to suggest he is going to beat someone like Jiří Lehecka, who definitely seems to have gotten out of that little bad slump of form he was in not that long ago. So that'd be the way I would certainly look on that one. Like I say, if this was the first round and he hadn't played Arnaldi, you wouldn't have went anywhere near him in this one. Maybe as a bit of a punt, maybe on the points if he would have got a big spread, but I was pretty certain he was going to beat Arnaldi. Not too sure when it comes to this one, folks. I'm really not. But like I said, I think I'm just gonna sit and watch this one and enjoy it. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll be happy for the winner, sad for the loser. Maybe look at a total games played, something like that. I don't know. You pay your money and you take your choice. And that's us done for Germany. Really quick over in the Netherlands, and then I will leave you to it. I said we'll just start off with these rain delay ones really quick. There's just something I wanted to ask you more than anything. So we've got Mannarino, O'Connell. Probably leave Mannarino in that one. We said it, didn't we? I'm not picking it with much conviction, but we know what he can be like on the grass. He can be a very tough customer. Batista Agut, Hughes. Obviously, I've still got Hughes. We all think Hughes going to win that. Be devastated if he doesn't. I think he can do it. He should do. He better add. Dinky, Dan Evans. And Dinky around 1.4 now, 1.5. Like, what the fuck's going on? He probably beats him as well. It's such a shame, but I just don't want to admit it. I don't really bother with these Dinky matches. I don't really bother with Dan Evans matches at all. You put them together, it's a volatile mixture. Them two, I'd approach that with severe caution. And then, question time. This is what I wanted to ask you, just really quick before we go through these last two. Laszlo Djere, Mark Lial. I know a lot of us have got Mark Lial on the money line. Seen it in the comments. I've got him just for a set on the double. I ask you this. On a level of 1 to 10, I know there's no such thing as a 10 out of 10. That's probably a stupid scale to go off. Just tell me this. How confident are we? How confident are you that Mark Lial gets this one done? Because there's been a lot of money coming on him since yesterday. Now, these could have very well just played yesterday. And that, what it would have been looking like after the fact, I don't know what we would have been sitting here saying, whether it would have been good, whether it would have been bad. But I feel like since, we haven't really seen anything, not much if anything, of this lad all season. He had a fairly decent qualifying, I'll give him that. Seems to somewhat reside on the Challenger Tour. I know Laszlo Djere is not good on the grass. I know he's not. On the clay, he's fucking fantastic. He's a lot more seasoned than this lad. There's a lot more pepper on Djere than Mark Lial. I feel like I'm seeing a lot of people, I don't know, I'm getting a feeling that there's a lot of people that are maybe a bit too overconfident in this one. And maybe it's because I've had an extra day to sit on it, but I'm seeing all the money come in and I'm like, I think he's good enough for a set based on how crap Laszlo Djere can be on the grass. But that's about it. Pitting them together, are we that sure he's going to win? I hope he does. I don't know. It's food for thought. You just let me know. How confident are you in Mark Lial? Are you still riding with it from yesterday? I am, of course. You've got to, haven't you? But I think that's going to do it for the rain delays. And then touching on these two really quick. We've got Jordan Thompson and Gabe Diallo. It'll be a good one. It's be an interesting one. This getting Jordan Thompson around 1.5. He played really, really good. He played good against Kovacevic. I was like, what? I haven't seen Jordan Thompson play like this for quite some time. But then I realised, we're on the fucking grass, aren't we? We're on the grass. And he always plays like this on the grass. Suits his game really well. I thought Diallo looked good against Vukic as well. Maybe that's not saying much, but we've seen what this kid can do. We've seen how good he was over in Madrid. Kind of dipped. I wouldn't say he's dipped out of form ever since. He went like 1-1. I think Diallo does it. Excuse me. Don't start getting the hiccups now. What a terrible time that is. We should be good. I'll overcome. Yeah, they're definitely going to start. I think Diallo stands a good chance against Jordan Thompson. I do. Although I do think at the same time Diallo is just the type of opponent that Jordan Thompson can deal with on the grass on his day. Yeah, 4-3 last year, 12-6 before that, 12-5, 9-5. This dude likes the grass. We can safely say that. Gabe Diallo, very, very small sample size, 3-4 last year, 5-5 the year before that. It's not giving much away. The safe bet would be Jordan Thompson. They've played each other twice before. Going back to 2023, both on the Challenger, both on the hard court, both straight set wins for either one. I'd say you pay your money and take your choice, but I feel like the wise choice maybe. I think the obvious choice is Jordan Thompson. Let's say that. Obvious choice is probably Jordan Thompson. I think Gabe can bring it though. And I think the Canadian can most definitely bring it. Although I will not be fucking with any of these Canadians after what El Chapo done yesterday. But Diallo is most definitely not Chapo. I never get over the size of this guy, man. I always forget how big he is, man. He's very big. He can impose a strong game on people. If he can serve just as good as what he did against Vukic, not even just that, he's more than just a serve, man. He's very good. There's most definitely a solid player within. Maybe just a bit of a big ask to get past Jordan Thompson. At this point, maybe I need to see just a little bit more from Diallo before I make a solid decision of whether I'd take him as a dog. You let me know. But I don't think it's a bad shout, either way. Play it safe, Jordan Thompson. Roll a dice, take Diallo. I think it'll be a good one either way. Good one either way. The very worst, Jordan Thompson just wins this in straight sets, dead easy. And you go, oh, okay. Now we know for sure. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. I think at 1.6, I'd be very, very tempted to lean with the Aussie in that one. I imagine you would too. And then wrapping this shit up, we've got McDonald and Khachanov, because this has went on long enough. Didn't think it'd take this long. There's only a few, but where does the time go? As Dr. Dog says. Right then, head-to-head is 4-0 to Khachanov in this spot, and although he dominates the head-to-head, the games have been anything but easy. Very, very close, to be precise. Fine margins in pretty much every single one. You're going back to 2023. Since the last time they actually played on the grass in Wimbledon, 2021. 3-1 to Khachanov, quite some time ago. I thought McDonald looked decent. He looked decent in qualifying. And he looked alright against Matteo Bellucci as well. He was favoured to get it done, and that's exactly what he did. Khachanov last time out got beat by Tommy Paul. Very close game against a slightly or pretty much injured Tommy Paul at that point. Yeah, and he still couldn't beat him. It's easy to look at that head-to-head and go, yeah. Khachanov, I know this name. The name Khachanov is a lot more familiar to me than McDonald, or at least it's become a lot more familiar over the past season or two. McDonald's no joke, man. This is no easy first game for the likes of Khachanov transitioning to the grass. McDonald were already 3 matches under his belt. I think he could be there to cause problems. He could definitely cause some problems for the Russian today. I wouldn't be surprised to see it. It's a shame really, because it should be as easy as you look at this and go, like I always say, if this was a year or two ago, Khachanov was just free money at one point, especially early doors. You'd always see him in at least like the quarters or the semis, but you never know how he's going to look when he turns up, especially to these 250s. I don't know, maybe it'll come to tomorrow. Khachanov turns up and he just wipes the floor with McDonald straight set. I don't know. If history's anything to go off, I think we can assume it's not going to be an easy one. It definitely will be no walk in the park. Have a look what the spread is. 2.5. I don't fancy it. It's not enough. I don't fancy it. I think McDonald can take a set. Possibly. Like I say, he's getting into a good stride. Playing Bellucci is one thing, and then coming up against Khachanov, it's another, innit? I don't really think it matters where you play Khachanov. He's all-terrain. He'll put in a decent match pretty much anywhere. He went 1-3 on the grass last year. It's a bit concerning. Didn't play the year before that. Do you not fancy yourself a grass player, Karen? What the hell's going on? McDonald, pretty much more the same. 3-1 this year, 5-6, 8-6, 3-4, 6-3. Pay your money and take that choice, folks. The choice will and always will be yours. It's a barely 1.4, 1.35. Not for the transition match, folks. No, it's just not worth it for me. Personally, anyway. Probably say there's a little bit of value in McDonald there at that price, but I wouldn't be brave enough to take it, I don't think. I think it could be a close one. Once again, maybe look at the total games played, something like that. Say at 1.4, it's too tempting to look at that and go, oh yeah, Khachanov 1.4, bang it on me parlay. It's quite the price to pay for him to turn up and be not that acclimated to the surface. So, with that being said, I will leave you there. I do think Khachanov probably should win, but I wouldn't be picking it with a lot of conviction at all. Very well then, folks. I'll be saying good night to you once more. Take it easy, yeah. You take care of yourselves, you take care of one another. It's the most important thing. Like and subscribe. Get yourself involved. Best bets in the comments, anything I'm going for, that'll be there too. Take care of yourself. Look after yourselves. Have yourself a good night. Best of luck to you. Let's go get that cash today. Enjoy the matches as always, and I'll see you tomorrow.